y'all, I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to try to whip something up for dinner. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm going to start by making my homemade garlic parmesan bread. I'm going to start it out with 1.5 cups of warm water. A 1.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I'm going to let the water and yeast stand for about 10 minutes so it activates. So now I'm going to add in 4.5 cups of flour. Now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar. A 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm using kosher salt, but y'all can use whatever kind you like. This is just what I have at the moment. Now I'm going to mix all of this together. Now I have my countertop dusted with flour. That way it doesn't stick. See how bad it's sticking to my hands? It's a pretty sticky dough at first. Okay. Now we're going to knead this for 10 minutes. I try to at least do 5, but just try to knead it as long as you can. That way the dough isn't so dense. Now we have our ball of dough. I'm going to stick it right back in this bowl that we mixed it in. Actually, I think I'm going to dust some flour in the bottom, just so it doesn't stick. I'm going to stick it right in there. And I'm going to rub just a little bit of oil on the top so it doesn't dry out. Now I've got just a little bit of oil. Yes, I have to use regular vegetable oil because unfortunately that's all I have right now. I have to get some more at the store. But I just kind of put it on top. Now I'm going to put a towel over this. Just like that. Now I'm going to let that dough sit in that bowl for about 4 hours and just let it rise. If it doesn't rise very fast, because it is kind of cooler today, I'm just going to put it right here in my oven. And I'm not going to turn it on or anything, but it's warmer in there. So I'll just stick it on a shelf and let it rise in there. Alright y'all, I am back. It is 4 hours later. Let me show you my dough. It is perfect. Here it is. And it rose up to almost the top edge of this bowl. And that's exactly what I wanted. And that's just because I stuck it in the oven without it being on, like I said. And it was that much warmer in there to help it rise, that much. So now we are going to put it on our parchment paper on a baking pan. I have my oven preheated to 375. So I'm going to spray my parchment paper just to safeguard it from sticking. So now, I always brush like an Italian herb, garlic, Parmesan butter over the top of it, and that makes it perfect. It is so good. You don't have to do that, but I just think it adds so much more flavor. So before we put this out on our pan, I'm going to go ahead and melt this. I have about that much butter in there, not a lot. And then I'm just going to go ahead, let me get that where you can see it, and sprinkle some of this right in there. There you go. Now we're going to melt this. Okay. So now we're going to get our dough out. I don't know if y'all can see, but see all of these air pockets up in here? That's what's going to make it fluffy. Okay. Let me get some flour. Just enough to where it doesn't stick to your countertop. Okay, so I'm gonna just split this loaf in half. You can leave it one whole one if you'd like. Okay. Now we've got this one. Okay. So now we're going to put these two right here on top of our parchment paper. And now I put some kind of cut in the middle, that way it can expand and it doesn't poof up really big. And you can do whatever you want. I've done a heart in it before and it turned out really cute. But today I'm just doing some regular lines, whatever. Now our butter is melted and we're just gonna brush it on.
Let's work at y'all's pace and stuff, but really it's like still on your pace, you know, like you kind of want to move fast into it.
But I'm also 3 years, hitting on 3 years clean and sober.
And there you go, that's what it looks like. It smells so good. We're gonna get these in the oven and let me see how long I bake it for. Yeah, that's right. 20 to 25 minutes. I've got my notebook over here that I write my recipes in. We'll be right back to show y'all. Okay, so in this bowl, I have about 6 pounds of frozen tomatoes from last year, and I'm trying to clean out my freezer so this year I can freeze some more fresh tomatoes. We're going to make a roasted tomato soup with this, or I should say a roasted garlic tomato soup. Kind of what I'm going for. These have been thawing today. They are diced, which isn't ideal for roasting, but I'm going to use my slotted spoon and try to lift them out of here so that way I can kind of prevent as many juices as I can. And I also have some whole ones down here on the bottom that I'm just going to kind of cut in half because whenever tomatoes thaw, they get kind of mushy. So, and it'll be fine. It'll still kind of work the same. You just don't want that much juice whenever you're roasting. And these are all different kinds of tomatoes too. As you can see, there's yellow, there's purple, there's black. Some of it is still a little icy, and that's also not ideal. But as long as I get that roasted flavor, it should work out pretty good. Our bread is done. It looks so good. I turned the heat up on my oven to 400 just because I'm going to roast these, and I have to do it in batches because my pan is pretty shallow, my oven is not that big, and my other pan that has this tall sides like that is being used for the bread, and that's okay. So what I have here is I've got some frozen banana peppers and some frozen bell peppers that I am going to roast with this, and I think it's going to taste great. And I'm also going to use some garlic. I do have garlic out in the garden, but it is not ready to be pulled yet. It still has a couple months. So I'm just going to have to stick with store-bought, and that's fine. It does the same job. So I have 12 cloves of garlic right here, and I'm just going to take the peeling off and cut this very bottom tip off. And I'm just going to roast them whole since everything is going to be blended together. I'm probably only gonna do like a couple per pan. Like these big ones I might cut in half or into thirds. We'll just have to see. I think I'm gonna do like 2 per pan because I think I'm probably gonna get about 4 to 6 pans out of this. We're just gonna roll with it, y'all. We're just gonna roll with it. My little helper's back. So I want you to put, like, see how I'm just dropping these? Okay. You put that one like over there. Good job. Now we're gonna sprinkle some of our bell pepper.
Oh, I wanna eat one.
You can try one. They're really cold still. Y'all, these probably are not gonna roast the way I want them to.
Or 2. Give me some more. Here. What is that? That's cold.
Is it cold? These are banana peppers.
Banana. Ice age. This belongs on ice age. That belongs on ice age.
Don't fall backwards. You're kind of on the edge.
Ooh, I want to eat spicy. It's kind of good.
It's kind of good. Okay, I'm gonna cut up this onion real quick. I don't want it to burn your eyes, so I'll let you know when that's done, okay? Come over here. As far as onions concerned, I'm using a store-bought one, about that size. And then I have a few volunteer ones that just kind of popped up in our field. My grandfather was plowing and he saw them and he stopped and he went ahead and he pulled as many as he could. So I'm going to use those. I have a couple more in the dining room, but I want to use those for salads and stuff. So altogether we're probably going to use about a medium onion and a half or so. And really, I'm not going to really like fine chop this or anything. I'm going to do like a real rough chop. And yes, I do use compost bowls. I love doing that. And I've actually got volunteer potatoes and stuff out of composting like that. This is pretty interesting. And I'm just kind of cutting them up just like that. So now we're just gonna drizzle a little bit of oil. So now I'm going to use the same seasoning that I used on the bread. Hang on, baby. And now I'm just gonna coat everything all together. Sugar Bear, hang on just a minute, please. Now I'm going to stick this pan in the oven, and I don't have a specific time in mind. I'm just going to continually check on it. Wow. I'm just going to check on it until I get as much of a roasted kind of flavor or look that I can. And we'll be back. So now I'm going to go ahead and start making grilled cheeses out of this homemade bread I made. Just simple grilled cheese, butter on each side of the bread, cheese in the middle, and get it nice and melty. I have not mixed up the tomato soup yet though. I am still waiting on the last batch to finish roasting. That is our soup so far, and I'm going to take my emulsion blender and I'm just going to blend this up. Our grilled cheeses are all done. Now I'm going to finish up the soup. Sorry about the paper plates, but I'm saving on dishes. Now to this, I'm going to add in about half a cup of heavy cream. I'm going to add some more of our garlic and herb seasoning, some salt, a little bit of white pepper, and some sugar. And that's just to cut the tang a little bit, because it is pretty tangy. And really, y'all, whenever I season, I just taste it and then season it as I think it should taste. So that's up to preference for y'all. All right, y'all. Here's our tomato soup, our bread, our grilled cheeses. We're gonna get this together and have some great dinner. And here it is. Y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you next time.